where, you know, a lot of plants in permaculture landscapes, you cannot buy them. You just have to like find seed or by hook or by crook, just grow stuff and grow too many and try stuff out and select the best and give away stuff and like, it's really just kind of like getting hold. Landscapes. This has a purple fruited cereus, real sweet fruit. And, you know, this is just representing one seed population, a hybrid that my friend made. And it just goes on. It's like too much, but then you like have to start giving things away and moving germplasm into the landscape. And that's kind of my role. It's like, how do I get more plants into people's gardens? Not like only about my collection personally. It's more like, what's the future? We got to like keep seeding, you know, the next generations, and we don't even know what people will do with plants. But we just kind of have to kind of keep a little bit of the knowledge and the horticultural knowledge and the use knowledge through, and then that proliferates and inspires people. And I've done that for this community a lot, like move stuff, inspired people that have come through, and they're just on their own doing projects and teaching other people and stuff like that. So, and then I can go move into other landscapes too. Yeah, I mean, all this is sort of succession-based, you know, planting, because really it's just we sheet mulched and then we were doing kind of direct seeding of legumes and other ground cover, you know, just basically accelerating the succession using what's naturally going to happen here. So just using the kind of like strategies of like sheet mulching or using ground cloth and then seeding it with stuff and sweet potatoes and things like that, and bananas and leguminous trees, the Gliricidia, and getting this kind of like wind buffering effect and microclimate development, and then using the sort of like more climax species like mangoes. There's about roughly 70, you know, types of mango here. And I just do that because I like mangoes, to try them and test them out and see which ones are kind of interesting. This is a really cool sweet potato. It's a Hawaiian variety. It's the most dark purple of any sweet potato I've ever seen on the earth. Super dark. So high in anthocyanin. And cool. So ele means black, and blacks are all purple, really. And the variety is called ele. This is just a weed, a hualoa, but this is really used in medicine a lot for blood cleaning, and it's just a cool, crazy plant. And it's nice to just kind of like acknowledge what is here, and favor what's already happening, as far as plants that are considered medicine or useful. Yeah. And just generally, like all the weeds and all the stuff really is like just biomass for mulching. I don't really fight with weeds that much. I mean, I kind of have some that I'm always putting pressure on, but and pigeon pea, good old pigeon pea. You know, this is our island soybean. Really, we eat the pods, you know, when they're more sized up than this, and then use them as a like edamame type of thing to eat. Really tasty, and they get huge, and they make a lot of nitrogen. And they make a lot of mulch, and just dead wood generally. And the dead wood is favoring the fungi and microorganisms. And then later we can just like, you know, basically pick it over and, you know, keep the mulch staying healthy. And this is a tung oil tree, actually. It's, you know, it would like more rainfall, but tung oil is like really one of the best wood preservatives there is. And then these like cassia, I think it's cassia, maybe marginata. Another one of these types of legumes that's just really tough. Has very ornamental flowers, so it works well like near a house or something. And really slows down the wind all the time. And then meanwhile, there's like a young sandalwood, which is, you know, fairly endangered on the island overall. There's not that much of them. And they have this cool little fruit you can eat. You can eat the seed. Excellent bee forage. Endemic native plant that's cool. Has essential oil. Can also develop as a whole industry, really just like taking the tips and of the branches and making distillation and getting oil out, or hydrosols. This is one of my yellow cassava varieties. So I'm getting all the yellow ones here, and then I can develop seed and pollination from between them and grow out those because I want to proliferate yellow cassava. But it's also really good tasting, and it's such an easy plant to grow. Peanut butter tree. And you know, normally you'd think like peanut butter, that doesn't sound good, but it is actually really good. This is a holy basil, and it just moves around.
Yeah.
You know, it's at home here. It just goes. You know, basil has a tendency to be weedy already, so it naturalizes. Yeah, so this is, of course, moringa. So I started planting a lot more moringa just straight up in the garden, just to have more shade and more wind protection. And it does so well, you know, it's just like, that's like, gets up that high in a year. Pretty big area too, and I think I planted like about, I don't know, 30 or 40 different types of fruits that chickens would eat. And there's a lot of mulberry, and then just seedy things, and then tamarind, that's curryberry, guavas, calandria, tropical apricot. But it's cool, you know, you just like cruise down and check on the chickens and maybe find some dragon fruit. But this one was collected, I think, Ecuador or Peru originally by the ethnobotanist Tim Plowman. And it's just like one of the sweetest dragon fruits there is. I mean, yeah.
So beautiful.
Yeah, and it just grows by itself, really. In the right place, it's just there, you know. This is the lower pond, so it hasn't filled up yet all the way this year. It's gone down a bit with the drought and summer, but it's filling back up, and there's a lot of tilapia in there. And they're algae eaters, primarily. So like the ducks, I mean the geese will eat all the grass and they go in and poop in there. So I have this kind of system so I can either move the ducks there, here, into different quadrants. It's this kind of like integrated system with ducks, garden, ducks, pond. It's a cut and carry system, so we actually cut, you know, the material and bring it to the goats by truck or by cart, and bring it to the feeder over here. So they you know, these are high nitrogen, super good fodder crops, the nitrogen fixers. And so we get a ton of material, and it just comes out like this, and it's all pretty uniformly like cut material, relatively. They come out here, put them into this emu pit. That's what we use to cook pigs and stuff like that from time to time, and then make this kind of charcoal system, and then use that in our garden and the manure, or feed the manure to the pond for the fish pond.
Okay, interesting.
To get the algae going, which the tilapia like to eat. It's like it's always trying to like slowly get all the loops back in order. You know, it's like I didn't really set out to do that, but a certain amount of accumulation occurred, where it's like, oh, well, let's do that system. One of the cool things about it is, you know, we dug it with just a moldboard plow and then handwork. And then I planted pomegranates on the south side. Just did the whole chaya thing. But then we planted Trichocereus, the genus Trichocereus in cactus. So I call it a trichos whale, you know. But great animal berry, great acoustic barrier, very beautiful, very functional, and very potent entheogen, or, you know, fission. So this is another Trichocereus through the Terschekii, another giant columnar cactus, awesome looking, and you know, fences don't really last here because of the salt and wind and
it erodes them.
and high humidity. They just disappear. So I was always kind of like, well, you know, here's another area to plant cactus. Let's go for it. So I ordered like a couple pallets of cactus from this guy in California. really what it was is like I wanted to do jobs on the dry side of the island with growing cactus, so I just need enough to do living fence work. There's one I designed that's like 800 feet. I don't know if it'll happen, but just to get an amount of planting material, really. So you get these just kind of like select, kind of cool looking ones out of the groups. Different flower types and fruits. And then you have the forest, the tree system developing within it. Different from each other. And this was all papaya and chilies and ashwagandha. We were harvesting just papayas, and then it was all just young cacti coming up. So we got all this yield out of it on the way to do not where it is now, which is cactus over my head. Anyways, dragon fruits on trees. This is Lucena. This is the yellow type, the Selenostarius. There's a little yellow fruit. So it bears all year. And cut back for goats. And yeah, so I did this like, I don't know, I did this like 8 years ago. 11 years ago, I was thinking about it, doing it. And because I was like, what kind of tree, what kind of system with dragon fruit, growing up natural trees. This has naturally lots of fertility in the ground, some shade. And you can, there's a few different versions of this. So you can do Glaracidia. I've seen it, you know, on other things. And I have it on moringa, which works good because it's even lighter shade. And you can do it in a tree that's tall too and just like let it go. And I've seen that also do really well. But you can see this is on moringa right here, dragon fruit on moringa. The African moringa is up there, it's on. But you can see it's a pretty nice little scaffold and it does well, you know. And sometimes it works pretty good, you know. This is exactly what you want right here. Once they start bending, then they're just flower like profusely. And then you just mow around here and the mulch develops. That's what dragon fruits really dig. Lots of rotting sticks and stuff. But we got so many dragon fruit this year. We have bees on the land, we have all this variety. They naturally pollinate them. By planting things together like pineapples and banana and nitrogen fixing trees. And then all those systems start like kind of phasing out over time. Like here you can see the Glaracidia is still there. And we're still using it as fodder, but we've reduced the size a lot down and make goat food with it. And then from that point, we're just kind of eliminating it slowly. And once it's goat food, yeah, biochar and other products get made. And the leaves get eaten and turned into manures for the garden. And then those get cut out. And then within those trees, we have little stem-bearing fruits between the mangoes, like jabuticaba, cabeluda, little fruits. They're really tasty. So you can see this is kind of like agroforestry, using nitrogen fixers to slow the wind, develop soil fertility. I don't fertilize here. I just use what's naturally in the succession model. Maybe a little, I use compost, things like that, but not really like fertilizer.
All right, Molokai, Hawaii, 2011, November, I think it's the 20th. My name is Kaleo Justin, 10 of Quad, from Hawaii to the Bay to New York to Hong Kong and everywhere. Super nationals, that's what's up. Yeah.